Hi, Stephen Barnes here with Life Writing Live, Fire Dance Live. I'm a multiple black belt Tai Chi instructor, New York Times bestselling author, and most importantly, ecstatic husband and father. Love my family. There's nothing more important to me than my family, and that means that I have to be at my best every day. If I'm not at my best every day, I'm letting my family down. If I'm not at my best every day, I'm letting myself down. And I do not want to do that because I have this one life to live. So I've been encouraging people to check out the Fire Dance Tai Chi video. It's a year long program. Let's take a tiny little piece out of it that has to do with marketing. Marketing is a way of projecting yourself to the outside world, finding the people and things that appeal to you and that you would appeal to, whether you're talking about selling a story or finding a mate or building a business. You've got to do this. That means you have to know who you are and you have to be able to learn the skills that are needed to do the thing that is going to bring you the life that you want. If you don't feel that you currently have those things, those abilities, those attitudes, those behaviors that would enable you to consistently behave in certain ways and consistently behave in those ways long enough to get the results that you want, then the fire dance process will work very well for you because a key part of that process is while you're moving. Now, we use Tai Chi, but you can use walking, crawling. I wouldn't suggest you use swimming because you're going to be saying things out loud, but anything that gets your body moving. So your body is moving, and while you're doing that, you're chanting affirmations. But I also want you to visualize role models. Let's say that you want to break a bad habit. Who have you seen who had your bad habit and broke it? Who have you seen who has accomplished the things that you want, or you believe in your heart? If you could have them counsel you, guide you, they'd be able to help you. Who is it that you feel that if you dropped this problem into their life, they would just chew it up and spit it out? They'd be great with it. They would absolutely handle it. That person can become part of your internal community. In Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill talks about mentors, and he also talks about imagining, creating an imaginary community. For him, there was, I believe Thomas Edison was on it, and Abraham Lincoln was on it, and a number of other people. He would literally have board meetings where he imagined these people sitting there and advising him. And it's that sort of thing. So let's say I have an issue that I want to deal with. And the problem with the issue is that I only want to deal with it when it hurts. So if I ignore it for a while, I'm okay. But then after a while, the problems build up until it hurts, right? Then I begin to exert discipline. Then the discipline begins to give me positive results. The positive results diminish the pain. With pain diminished, so does my motivation. And so I start missing sessions doing the thing that I need to do to stay consistent. So clearly, this is something that I do not have sitting at unconscious competence. I do not have it sitting at the place where I just naturally do it. Who can I imagine who does? Who's got that automatic thing? Now, I can think of somebody. I can think of a man whose values are good, who seems to be a good and decent human being, whose energy is high, he seems healthy, he's in a relationship with his sweetheart, and he could solve the particular problem that I have. This person, I can literally visualize them. I can give thanks for them. When I'm doing my morning ritual and I'm running, I'm walking, I'm crawling, I'm doing Tai Chi, I can literally visualize them in front of me, in sync with me, perhaps doing the Tai Chi. I actually hadn't thought about that. I haven't done that in a long time. Could I have him doing the same movements? So I asked myself, how would he do them? Because in other things, it's like, how would they walk? How would they talk? How do they breathe? How do they hold their balance? Visualize them in front of you. Then you might want to do the same thing when you're standing still sometime, doing your qigong exercises, perhaps, where you imagine yourself holding a ball of energy, and perhaps you imagine yourself standing in a ball of energy, and then you imagine your role model standing in a ball of energy in front of you, and you literally step into them. See how that feels. How does it feel to breathe that way? Hold your face that way. What would they say to you? What are they saying internally about the position that you're in and what you should do next? What you should do in this day to move your life forward. If you're running, if you're moving, and you imagine this person in front of you, you can also, you're developing greater rapport with them, right? So when you're meditating, you might imagine that person sitting in front of you, and you might even hold their hands and look in their eyes and ask them for their advice. What would you do if you were me right now? How would you break this habit? How would you instill this new habit? How would you feel better about life? How would you tell this person that you love them? How would you encourage yourself to maintain a discipline that is uncomfortable? How can I get out of this rut? What would you do? How would you break your pattern so that you can implement a new behavior? Whatever it is that you use, whatever it is that you need to change, find the person who would change this, who has changed this, who you wish was your role model, and begin to imagine them. Even better, read as much as you can about them. Study videos on them. Develop a sense of how they move, how they think, how they feel, so that when you imagine them, you're tapping into your own deep wisdom. If I were like this person who I admire, this is what I would do next. This is one of the fastest ways to improve yourself in life. Children do it automatically. They automatically start dressing up like their parents because they understand that if you pretend something and you behave in that way, you become that thing, which is why it's very important to be careful about how you behave in life. Be careful about the things you say. Be careful about the way you treat people. Even if you are quote unquote kidding, you start becoming the person you pretend to be. You start becoming the things that you do. So if you behave like the person you want to be, and you seek to feel like the person you want to be, and every day that's what you do, eventually you become that person. There are ways to speed it up. And I think that the morning ritual where you are moving at the same time that you are imagining, at the same time that you are feeling, at the same time that you are proclaiming, you are bringing your body, mind, and emotions all together in the same place. In the same way that traditional Qigong practice takes your attention, your eyesight, your breath, and your movement and brings them all together in the same place and time. This is a path. One way or the other, you have done these things as individual pieces. What I'm encouraging you to do is to put it all together. Like I said, you can do this with walking or crawling or, yoga, sun salutations, but I love doing it within the Tai Chi form because it is a complex movement that teaches you to master your breathing, that demands balance, that is capable of being done by anybody. You can do it very, very gently. You can do it intensely. You can turn it into something dynamic, or you can turn it into a moving meditation. So if you'd like to check that out, go to www.firedancetaichi.com. But please begin to integrate your breath, your movement, your imagination, your emotions just for a few minutes every day. It doesn't have to take a lot of time, and it's going to be messy at first. My life is messy right now. We just moved. You can see the mess in the background. My wife is out of town, so I don't have anybody to help me with the office. But I wanted to make this presentation to you. I don't want to miss an opportunity to talk to you. Please ask any questions about creating your own morning ritual, however you want to do it, down below. Any questions, I will answer them to the best of my ability. I want you to win. My commitment is very clear. I want to enable 1 million awake, aware, adult human beings. And if each of us will just teach 10 people, each of us just teach 10 people, we can do that. And that means that we can transform the world. But first, transform yourself, live with joy and service, teach your family, teach your friends, become an avatar of possibility so that people look at you and say, how are you doing that? How can you be so healthy and happy and successful? And then you can tell them and you can help them. And together we can make this a better world. Take care. This is Steve Barnes saying, have the best life possible. You deserve to be the hero in the adventure of your lifetime. Take care.